Pennsylvania, Illinois, Delaware Shore, New Jersey, Connecticut, Ohio, Massachusetts.
I think I've got all of these. I think I have them all actually.
Why is West Virginia and Kentucky and Tennessee, like, what goes in that space?
Well, these are long and narrow. These are, I don't know. Anyway, all right, here's the deal. So we're learning today about Venn diagrams, and if you turn to page like, wherever 7.2 starts, say I'm actually at the end of it here, 292, you'd see that Venn diagrams are not really that big of a deal. They're this way of graphically representing a set. Like on page 293, you can see that they have this big rectangle that represents the universal set. And then like there's two sets inside of each of them, A and B.
Wait, so what's happening?
So we're on page 293 if you're looking. And like, those sets can be overlapping. And then there's an area that's in A and B, the intersection of A and B. Like in the first little diagram there on page 293. Or you can have two sets that don't overlap. The right word for two sets that don't overlap is disjoint. There are two disjoint sets there. So like the overlap, the intersection of A and B in that middle figure would be 0. There's no overlap. And then, like for example, section 3 there, the third diagram there, the graph of B actually has A entirely inside of it. A is a subset of B. Alright, so actually working with these diagrams is not that big of a deal. And you can see like on example 1, they start drawing little areas. Like for example, figure 6 there has a part of B colored in. In fact, that appears to be what? So anyway, each of these has a well, they're both fairly complicated. Like for example, figure 7 there is clearly, it's everything except the overlap between A and B. So that's probably not A and B, right? But anyway, they are fairly straightforward little examples here. None of these are terribly hard. It's more fun to do it with real data. And that's why we decided while you guys were after you guys were done taking the quiz, that we would work with a question. What everybody thought the Midwest was. Okay? Because what I did here is I wrote out our universal set. Our universal set in this case is all 50 states. Right? And we can go ahead and draw on here the circles or the shapes or whatever that illustrate what different people think the Midwest is. So like for example, let's start with Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa, what states did you think were the Midwest?
Okay, Indiana.
Yeah.
Illinois.
Okay.
Kentucky.
Okay.
Michigan.
Okay.
Ohio.
Okay.
Arkansas.
Okay.
And Wisconsin.
So that's it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got...
And Iowa. Wait, no, I didn't say Iowa. No.
Okay. It doesn't, I mean, we're really just doing the assignment, right? So this is the Lisa set.
Yeah.
This is Lisa's idea of the Midwest.
Yes.
Okay.
Now looking at it, I shouldn't have put Arkansas on there.
Well, I don't have Arkansas because they're all that accurately drawn as where it is on the map.
Louisiana.
LA is Louisiana, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't Arkansas
They're
up?
all a little bit closer to Florida.
Okay, well that's all right. I mean, it's just a set, right?
Yeah.
So I have shown the boundaries of what is in her set. This is Lisa, okay? And like, these are in not Lisa. Okay? Here, before we draw more circles on here, let's learn a more powerful vocabulary word. We could describe the number of elements in this Lisa set as its cardinality. The cardinality of the set is the count of how many are in there. Now, I think your book gets a little carefree in that. I think it only introduces the word cardinality in one of the answers in the back of the book. I think other places along the way, it just says number. Okay, what is the number of Lisa's set? Either way, it's good. The right vocabulary word is the cardinality. The cardinality of these sets. So like, the symbol for cardinality is an N. So N of Lisa's set here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lisa thinks that there are 7 states in the Midwest.
That's a little pushing it, I think.
I disagree, but I'll later give you the correct answer. Alright, anyway, there's no correct answer, it's just a term. Alright, Andrew, what states did you put in the Midwest?
Indiana, Kentucky, Iowa, Missouri, Ohio, Illinois, and that's it.
That's it?
That's what I had, yeah.
Alright, I'm going to just use a slightly different symbol since I didn't bring a bunch of colors with me. Did you have Ohio?
Yeah, Kentucky.
Did you have Pennsylvania?
No.
Alright.
Kentucky, though.
And do you have Michigan?
No.
Wisconsin?
No. You missed Kentucky though.
I missed Kentucky. Yeah.
It's because we all went to forget Kentucky exists.
I was born.
Yeah, they don't have teeth there.
They don't have teeth there. All right, just so that we used a slightly different symbol because I didn't bring different colors here. This was Andrew. All right. So here's, again, on a Venn diagram then, we can see that Andrew's set of states overlaps with Lisa's set. For what it's worth, let's figure out the cardinality. Does Andrew think there are 6?
Yes.
So Andrew's set of states includes 6. Okay? Well then, wait a minute. What is Lisa... Sorry, I wrote Linda here. And I apologize that let's write this with a different color because this will be darker. Let's do some of the things that we can already know how to do. Let's talk, what is Lisa union Andrew? What are the union? What does union mean?
Illinois.
It's in either, right? Union means it's in either of them. So basically everything is already in a circle, right? The union of Lisa's list and Andrew's list is this. But I'm more interested in what's the cardinality of Lisa union Andrew? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now here's the deal. There's a formula that we need to learn for that. I mean, this time we can just count it, right? But it wouldn't necessarily be the case that we could always just count it. We could also just have numbers or something that we have to do the math or whatever. There's a union rule. There's a union rule, some places called the union rule of cardinality or whatever. To figure out the cardinality of A union B, it's the cardinality of A plus the cardinality of B minus the cardinality of A and B, which is intersection. A and B. Wait a minute, you weren't expecting that last part. But it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, we added up how many were in Lisa's definition and how many were in Andrew's definition, but notice we counted these 4 twice. Right? We counted up Lisa's, and we got these guys, and we counted up Andrew's, and we got those guys again. So we had to subtract off the part that's overlapping one of the times, right? So the union rule of cardinality tells us that union of A and B is A plus B minus the part that's overlapping one time. Because you've counted those twice. All right.
13 minus 4.
Right, it worked, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's throw more into this. Luke, what's your definition of the Midwest?
Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri. It was basically Lisa's.
Well, tell me if anyway it's different from Lisa's. Well, wait a minute. Lisa didn't have Missouri.
I did not have Missouri.
You didn't?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, you're true. You're right.
So you have the same things as Lisa, except you added in Missouri.
Yes.
All right, I'll work with that. All right, I'm going to make yours a solid loop. Okay. So you have almost the same thing as her, but hey, which one are you a? So here's Luke's. All right. So is yours a subset or a superset of hers? Superset, right? Yours, you have everything she has plus, right? She is a subset of yours. Strictly speaking, she's a proper subset of yours. Although she's a subset and she's also a proper subset, right? All right. Interesting heat map so far. Okay. How about, you know what heat map means, right? We're like getting a sense. Well, obviously there's something interesting going on here at these places that are being picked a lot, right? All right. Malia, who was most spooked about this. Malia, tell me your list.
Indiana, Tennessee, Kentucky,
Kentucky.
Okay.
I think I included, what's the M in?
Minnesota?
I think I included Minnesota, because why not?
Sure, I would agree.
Wisconsin,
Well,
Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, Arkansas, yeah, and then, yeah. I included all of them plus Emmett.
Okay, so what you
And
did...
not Montana.
Yeah,
Not
but-
Montana, Emmett.
Missouri?
Yeah.
Okay,
Why
so,
is it Emmett?
how about Iowa? Did you have Iowa in it?
No.
Okay. Alright, we're going to make yours a black cloud, just so that we have some way of keeping these straight here. You're in Tennessee.
Yeah.
No, you know, and did you have Michigan and Wisconsin?
Yeah, M-I.
Alright, okay, we're going to call this Malia.
the only state that I know.
Alright,
is Missouri.
interesting.
Everything else that
Alright.
A while ago, I literally just like
What's the cardinality of Malia's set?
10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6, 7, 8, 9. I must be missing one that she counted. But
Oh, maybe it is.
maybe it's 9. Okay. All right. So see how this is more interesting than these silly little overlapping circles.
It is
Works.
10.
What?
It is 10.
What did I miss?
Minnesota.
Missouri.
But she doesn't have Missouri in it.
Oh, then why is it so?
Wait a minute, I have 10 on here.
She said the black one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I wrote down 10.
What did you miss? Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky.
I'm gonna just.
What you got?
Dakota and Nebraska are considered.
You're.
What did I miss?
I'm still kind of getting there.
Okay.
Kansas too, though.
Oh, I wrote WI twice.
You wrote WI. It only counts once. It's very Midwestern in Wisconsin, but that's another story. All right.
Oh no.
Is it Fresno and Wisconsin?
I was really hoping people choose slightly less similar things. That's interesting. All right, let's have MJ next.
Alright, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, Ohio, Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska.
Ooh, okay, let's use a dashed line. Did you have Arkansas?
No.
Did you have Illinois and Indiana? Did you go as far as Ohio?
Yes.
Did you have Pennsylvania?
No.
Did you have Michigan and Wisconsin?
Oh gosh, no.
Did you have Minnesota, Iowa,
I had Iowa.
but not Minnesota?
Right.
Okay. How about the Dakotas?
No.
All right.
Apparently,
That's way too far north.
apparently they're considered Midwest.
Somebody's looking it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I looked it up
We
on
saw
accident.
one.
I know. Okay.
That's so weird.
All right.
You
So,
think it's just an open door.
do we see that something interesting is going on for Illinois, Ohio, and Indiana?
We
So far,
just-
everybody has picked that.
Comfortable with it.
Everybody. Okay.
Because they're our neighbors.
So, once we have this information, could you see how we could come up with all kinds of problems? Like, what is the intersection of MJ and Malia? Well, let's see. The intersection of MJ. So, what is MJ and Malia? Well, that would actually only be Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio in this case, right? Or what would be what is MJ or Malia? And we could talk about MJ, anything that is in MJ's or in Malia's. I really should have brought more colors. All right. Haley, what you got?
I have the same thing as Lisa, except for I didn't have Arkansas and I did have Tennessee.
You did have Tennessee, and you didn't. All right. Do I have any other markers just hiding someplace in here? Hold on. Let me just check. That might be red in my book bag. Oh, wait, blues. Okay, so you had the same thing as Lisa, but you didn't put Arkansas and you did put Tennessee. All right, so Lisa's this one. So
That's so weird.
why is that weird?
No, I'm talking about the lists, like the list of states that are like technically actually the Midwest.
Yeah, so you looked it up.
It has like all those northern states.
Uh-huh,
and, like, in
that's
my-
right.
In my mind, it was like, okay, so you
Okay,
have
this, all right. So see how like we're having more interesting Venn diagrams than the ones that were in the book. Right?
It's not west.
What?
I don't know, it just looks weird that it doesn't look west.
Midwest? Where does the term Midwest come from?
Because it's in the middle of the West, but that's
No,
it was,
that has nothing to do with it.
It was probably the middle of the West at the time.
At the time the Twilight was coined, this was the middle of the West.
Awesome.
It was in right in the post-colonial period, in the early,
Yeah.
like in the late
Yeah,
1700s.
And Americans
This term,
don't like
do you ever wonder why Northwestern University is in Chicago?
Because that was
Because that was Northwestern United States at the time. All right? Obviously, they were like, this was all French territory out this way and stuff like that. So this was the Midwest when that was coined. All right.
and all that, that's right through.
So people have been Googling. So did somebody come up with a definition that comes from like the Census Bureau or something? You had it up, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's going to be like North Dakota, South Dakota. It's going to go down through Oklahoma. It probably doesn't have Arkansas.
The Minnesota, it goes down to Missouri and Illinois, Indiana.
Not Kentucky though, right?
And now Kentucky, Kansas, Ohio.
Does that have Pennsylvania or West
No.
Virginia?
No.
Sometimes they do, okay. And it's going to be all the rest of this. This is like the Census Bureau.
Not Tennessee.
Yep, not Tennessee and not Kentucky. That's in Haley's definition there. All right. So you can see all kinds of problems we could do with this, right? But see, isn't this more interesting than like, oh, the book is going to want you to do like, here's set A and here's set B, and maybe they'll even get so excited as like, here's set C, and then like, here's A and B and C, and things like that. Okay, well, we can have all these kind of problems though with this, where we have a population, we have a complete universe, a universal set of all 50 states. And then we had different ideas about what constituted, in this term, kind of fuzzy concept like the Midwest, but you can see how we had different definitions of it, and therefore, like, we could talk about what is Census Bureau and Luke, or what is Malia or Luke, and things like that. You can see we could have all kinds of fun with problems like this on an actual, assessment of some kind. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay. Here's another kind of more big kid thing to do with Venn diagrams than necessarily, like little overlapping circles. Okay? I don't get me wrong, the way of thinking about these things as, this was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun. Here's another thing you can do with this that is a Venn diagram thing. Maps are Venn diagrams. They're showing you the set of ground that is different places. So, like for example, you could talk about, instead of it being, I just made it I really just sort of had a list of states there. What if I had like a map of the states? There's Illinois, this is going to be terrible. There's Illinois, there's Kentucky, there's Ohio. I've got a label of it, we're never going to know. Let's get a different color. Here's Ohio. I don't even have the slightest idea what Ohio looks like. Here's Missouri. Here's Iowa. Okay. Let's say we know this is the universe. This is the universal set of states in this region. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, this is it. All right. But now we know, like, for example, what is Illinois and Indiana? Nothing. What land is in Illinois and in Indiana? None. What land is in Indiana and Vanderburgh County? Vanderburgh County. What land is in Vanderburgh County or Missouri? It's all Missouri and Vanderburgh County. Well, it's or. A meteor just struck. It's in Vanderburgh County or Missouri. That would be a hard thing to not know, right? But whatever. All right? Then you know where it is. It's either in Missouri or it's in Vanderburgh County. Okay? It could be in all the little boxes that I'm drawing here. are counties that start with the letter V. I don't actually have the slightest damn idea. Okay? Those are counties that start with the letter V. The meteor struck in Missouri or a V county. It's in Missouri or a V county. See how a map is kind of a Venn diagram too? And it shows things like, for example, these V counties are completely inside of Ohio. And like this V county and this V county are disjoint. They don't have anything in common. Right? Maps are in many ways Venn diagrams too. Now we aren't yet to probability, but my guess is you've had enough probability in like grade school math classes. That you would have like an idea. For example, if you knew the size of each of these states. So Indiana, let's just use round numbers. Let's say Indiana is 100,000 square miles, and Ohio is 120,000 square miles, and Illinois is 150,000 square miles, and Missouri is 300,000 square miles, and Iowa is 200,000 square miles. Well, if you knew that the meteor struck in one of these states, what's the probability the meteor struck in Indiana? It's the area of Indiana, which is kind of a way of saying its cardinality, divided by, I'll just use a sigma here for like the sum of all the areas in that region, like Missouri plus Illinois plus Iowa plus Indiana plus Ohio. Okay? Because you would know, this area divided by the whole area. In the same way we could have done it using cardinality of like the sets. If you had a list of 50, if you have a list of 26 letters and I draw one at chance, what's the odds that one I chose is Q? 1 in 26, right? The cardinality of the set that works, the letter Q, divided by the cardinality of the universal set, 26. What's the probability I choose a vowel? 5 over 26, right? The cardinality of the set that works, 5 vowels, divided by the cardinality of the set of the universe. That's where we're going with this. But here's the deal. No homework about this at this time. Alright? Because I'm going to run upstairs now for my second trip upstairs for the day and go get you your take-home tests.
You want us to just set our homework like
Yes. Meanwhile, you guys make a pile of that. Alright. I'm also still going to figure out what's going on in regard... I got to still think about that 45. Yeah, Andrew.
About the exit tickets.
That's a great idea. Do the exit ticket now while I run upstairs. Okay? All right. Perfect. Andrew, you're like